Our story begins in a divided kingdom, Israel, ruled from Samaria, haunted by the legacy of King Ahab and Queen Jezebel. They led the people astray, worshipping Baal and provoking God's anger. A prophecy declared the total destruction of Ahab's house. No heir would survive. Into this chaos stepped Jehu, a fierce army commander, chosen by God to carry out this judgment. Secretly anointed king, Jehu's mission was clear: wipe out Ahab's entire family. He acted swiftly, killing King Joram and King Ahaziah, both tied to Ahab's line. But Samaria, where Ahab's 70 sons lived, posed a greater challenge. Jehu sent letters to the city's leaders, daring them to defend Ahab's house or submit. Faced with Jehu's reputation, the leaders surrendered. Jehu demanded proof of loyalty, the heads of all 70 sons. The next day, the grisly tribute arrived. Ahab's dynasty was finished. This was more than a coup. It was a divine reckoning against a corrupt dynasty. Jehu's ruthless strategy turned Ahab's own supporters against him. The fate of Israel's royal house was sealed by fear, cunning, and prophecy. The kingdom would never be the same. The purge had begun. With Ahab's heirs gone, Jehu turned to Israel's deeper problem, a Baal worship. He announced he would serve Baal even more zealously than Ahab, calling for a massive assembly. Every Baal worshipper in Israel gathered at the Grand Temple in Samaria. Jehu made sure only Baal's followers entered, even giving them special garments. Once the temple was packed, Jehu's soldiers surrounded it. At his signal, they stormed inside. No one escaped. The temple was destroyed, its idols smashed, and the site turned into a public latrine. Baal worship was wiped out in a single brutal stroke. Jehu's cunning eliminated both the royal line and the false religion that had corrupted Israel. Yet beneath the surface, the nation's heart remained unchanged. Jehu's revolution was ruthless, but incomplete. The idols were gone, but the people's loyalty to God was not restored. The scars of violence lingered. Israel's future was uncertain. Jehu's legacy would be both feared and questioned. The cost of cleansing the land was high. In Judah, news of Ahaziah's death reached his mother, Athaliah, Ahab's own daughter. Seizing power, she ordered the massacre of the royal family, seeking to end David's line forever. But Jehosheba, Ahaziah's sister, rescued the infant Joash, hiding him in the temple. For 6 years Athaliah ruled in terror, unaware the true heir lived in secret. Jehoiada the high priest, Jehosheba's husband, protected Joash and waited for the right moment. When Joash turned 7, Jehoiada gathered loyal leaders and revealed the hidden king. They pledged allegiance to Joash, preparing to restore the rightful line. The hope of David's house survived in the shadows. Athaliah's reign was built on blood, but a remnant endured. The fate of Judah hung on a single hidden child. The promise of the Messiah was nearly lost, but not forgotten. The stage was set for a dramatic return. Light flickered in the darkness. Jehoiada's plan unfolded with precision. Armed guards surrounded the temple as Joash was crowned king in a public ceremony. Athaliah rushed in crying treason, but was seized and executed. The reign of terror ended. Judah renewed its covenant with God. The people destroyed the temple of Baal and restored true worship. Under Jehoiada's guidance, young King Joash began repairing the neglected temple. He set up a collection chest, and the people gave generously. Craftsmen restored the house of God to its former glory. Joash's reign started with hope and renewal. The legacy of David was preserved. The nation turned back to its roots. Restoration followed ruin. Judah's future was reclaimed. Jehu's rise in Israel was marked by violence and judgment, purging evil but failing to bring true reform. He destroyed Baal worship, yet allowed other idols to remain. His legacy was a warning: outward change means little without a changed heart. In Judah, Joash's survival and restoration brought hope and renewal. The line of David endured, and the temple was rebuilt. These stories reveal a single truth: God judges wickedness, but preserves hope. Even in chaos, his promises stand. The fate of nations turned on faith, courage, and the willingness to return to God. The story of two kingdoms is a story of judgment and redemption. The future belonged to those who remembered the covenant.